Welcome to Glow Getter Guru. Let's go on this journey together to ignite our inner spark and illuminate the path to success and happiness. On this show, we're diving deep into the world of empowerment, motivation, and personal growth. Whether you're chasing your dreams, building your empire, or just need that little extra shine in your life, I got you, girl. Each episode, I'll be bringing inspiring stories, thought-provoking insights, and advice to help us unleash our full potential. So let's be the luminaries we were born to be, and let's light up the world together.
Welcome to Glow Getter Guru.
Hello, Glow Getters, and welcome back to another episode of Glow Getter Guru. I'm so excited to have you here. Today is a wonderful day. It was beautiful outside today, first of all. As soon as I woke up this morning, I wanted to go outside and take a walk because of how nice the weather was. And it was just amazing. Well, actually, it was a little cold, but the sun was shining. Like, I definitely got everything I needed from the sun. I got all the vitamin D that you could ask for, okay? Fresh air, the pollen was out there, but, I walked down the driveway and I was like, not today, pollen, not today, because I'm taking a walk and I'm going to enjoy it. So, and my man walked with me. So that was good. We did a lap around the neighborhood and we felt just amazing. Amazing. I really needed that walk. We went on vacation last week, which was really nice and relaxing. It was actually the first vacation we had where we kind of relaxed. We were really relaxed. Usually I have a whole itinerary planned for our vacation, but this time I just wanted to chill, So we just went to the beach twice. We were there for 5 days. Well, 4 days. We drove back on the 5th day. We went to go visit my parents in Jacksonville, Florida. By the way, I don't think I ever told you guys this, but I live in Atlanta, Georgia. So Georgia peach through and through. I was born here. I was raised here. And yes, I claim Atlanta, even though I grew up in Metro Atlanta. And even though I pronounce Atlanta with a T, I was born in Grady Memorial Hospital, so y'all can't tell me nothing. I'm from Atlanta with a T, okay? Get over it. And now I live in McDonough, which is actually south of the city. So I'm actually not in Atlanta, but yeah, I still love Atlanta and nobody can tell me any different. So there's that. That's where I'm from. I forgot to mention that in my whole, introduction. Anyway, so we went on vacation for a week. It was really, really nice and relaxing, and I needed a vacation. And it was nice because my sister's family came down as well. So me, my lover, and our son, we went down. And then my sister and her husband and her 2 kids, my adorable little angel coconut nieces, they came down and it was so much fun. And I really thought my parents were going to just spend an hour with us each because my parents were like, all my kids are grown. We're moving to Florida. Deuces. But anyways, they spent time with us and it was really more time than I expected, which was really nice. And it was just a really good time, a good relaxing time. And like I said, we spent 2 days just doing nothing on the beach. We just walked up and down the shore, put our feet in. Well, I put my feet in. They went in the water. I don't really fuck with oceans like that, to be honest with you. I can't with large bodies of water. I literally just cannot. But it was good. It was nice to be out there getting some sun and relaxing. And I turned off my notifications. I have a really bad habit of when I take PTO from work, I still have my notifications on. So usually I'm still getting messages and checking my email so I can tell myself I don't want to fall behind. But this time I was committed to not looking at my email or checking notifications. So literally, as soon as I logged out of work before I went on vacation, I pretty much blocked them. I'm not getting any email notifications. I'm not getting any, I don't know if you're familiar with Teams, but it's like a chat for work. So I'm not getting any work messages or any group messages or anything like that. Like, you guys are blocked. And I'm pretty sure I even said in a meeting, um, hey, this is a reminder. I'm going on vacation next week. I won't be here at all. I won't be checking email. Actually, you guys are going to be blocked, but I'll unblock you when I come back. And I'm so proud of myself for sticking to that because it really, really made this break very relaxing. Yes, it was so good. The other thing about the vacation is um, the food in Jacksonville is not like Atlanta food. Like, it's high, you know what I mean? Atlanta food is like top notch, top of the line. And also, I work in an area of the city where they have a lot of really nice, high quality restaurants. It's where all the bougie people live, you know? So I have a very bougie palate. And I'm very bougie, you know, when it comes to like the quality of the food and how good it is. So Jacksonville, I'm sorry, y'all were just not hitting, okay? There was one place called V's Pizza and it was super delicious. That was the only place. I'm like, this pizza place could be in Atlanta. But the rest of the stuff, trash. So, but anyways, we were eating trash all week. So that led me to this episode because we were, relaxing, just decompressing, de stressing, and basically eating like shit all week. So when I got home, today is Saturday. So we got home yesterday on Friday, and I was so ready to just do things like we're used to do, like home cooking our meals and just regular like life stuff. But like eating all the crap made me want to be like, get back onto my goals, which comes to this episode. Because last week we talked about our first quarter retro. And if you didn't listen to the episode last week, you should go back and take a listen. Basically, a retrospective, if you weren't there, is where you look at a period of time. So in this case, it would be the first 3 months of the year, and you reflect on your accomplishments. What went great, what didn't go great, and lessons learned. So the action items that you need to take into this next period of time so that you are on track with your goals, or not even goals, because not everyone sets goals. I really believe people should set goals because we should always be working towards something. Continuous improvement is one of my personal values. But anyways, that's neither here nor there. We looked at the first quarter of the year last time, so I thought it would be a good time to talk about reigniting our spark, because in January and February, we're going so hard on the things that we want to accomplish. Most of us are. Some people are like, blah, blah, I don't care about resolutions. I want you to care about resolutions if you're one of those people. Okay? We go very hard January and February on our goals. We are motivated. We're powered by motivation. We're powered by the energy of everyone setting their goals. And we just use that. We just use it. But it quickly it runs out. So around March, people start falling off of their goals. Most people, not everyone. There are some people out there that have already figured it out. And then there are people like me, and people that also may be like you, where we have certain areas figured out and we have other areas we have still not figured out. But March ended the first quarter of the year. And so today's episode is about reigniting our spark. So I wanted to give 5 ways for us to get back on track, kind of reboot and reset so we can get back on track for the things that we want, whether we have written down those goals or not. If we just want to say this year, some people, they just speak a sentence out and they say, this year I'm going on 3 vacations, and that's it. They leave it at that. But we're going to talk about why the first 3 months went by and you didn't go on a vacation because you said it once and it was out of your mind. Or like me, I wanted to be consistent on my health journey, and it's been up and down. I went through, I was very consistent until St. Patrick's Day, my friend had a party, and I told myself, it's just one party. I'm not going to stress over what I eat or whatever. It was all downhill from there. So, yeah, I just now got on track today since St. Patrick's Day because it was St. Patrick's Day, and then I was just out of control. Out of control, just out of control. I need to stay in the house until I get these habits on lock. But yeah, we're getting back on track. That's why we're here. So let's get into it. I made some notes. Because we're gonna get back on. Tell me who's gonna take me off. Nobody's gonna take you off. Nobody's gonna take you off. And you're gonna put yourself back on. So here we go. Number one, numero uno. We want to reconnect with our why. I encourage you to take notes on this episode if you can. If you're driving, do not take notes. Okay, take mental notes. Take a mental note to come back to this and, write down these 5 things so it can help you get back on track. Reconnect to our why. And I know it's easier said than fill in the blank. If you guessed done, you nailed it. We're reconnecting to our why. So why did we set these goals in the first place? And back in January, when we said we want to lose 50 pounds, 20 pounds, 15 pounds, why did we say that? And honestly, I'm not here to bash anyone. I don't think you need to have some super deep why. Like it could be as basic as I want to look really freaking hot when I'm naked. Maybe that's your why. Maybe it's I want to be able to have more clothing options when I go to the store. Maybe it's because I get tired easily when I go up the steps. And I know that if I lose weight, that means I'm getting my health together and I will have more energy. Why did we do those things? What made those things important? Okay. But also, when we're reconnecting to our why and we're thinking about the different goals that we set and why we set them, we need to also reevaluate at that time if those things are still important to us because we want to keep the things that are important. And people are, humans are ever changing. We're always changing. You don't have to stick to something if it no longer feels aligned with you. So I would say when you're reevaluating the things that you set for the beginning of the year and you're reconnecting to your why, if something isn't important to you anymore, toss that shit. Do not even waste your time on it. We're done with that. Okay. So reconnecting to our why. And maybe you should even figure out what will make you feel connected the most. Some people can just sit in the quiet and reflect and think about it and talk it through with themselves in their head. Other people, I would suggest you could journal it out and talk about your why and talk about how you felt over the last 3 months and how you got disconnected from your why or what were the things that distracted you from remembering why you wanted to do those things. Like I'll give you an example with me, with my health thing, I was doing really, really good. And my why was that I have not been going out a lot. That's not my why. What distracted me from my why is that usually I'm a person that is consistently out. Last year in 2023, I'm someone that's like consistently out with my friends and enjoying them. And when I was being consistent, I found myself saying no to things and staying in the house, which is what I should have been doing. So I don't regret staying in the house and staying on track. But I was distracted because I got invited to a party. I knew I have a good time, but I also was fully 100% aware that I don't have my self control around food in check. But I told myself, oh, it's just a party. You can do this, And I fell off from there. I was distracted by the temptation of wanting to be with my friends in that type of social environment. But the thing is, I didn't have to go to that party because my friend who actually invited me, I work with him. So I see him twice a week in the office. I didn't really need to go to that party. So there's that. I need to remember what's more important, like not going out with my friends now, just so I can build the habits that'll put me on track. I need to reconnect with my why because I want to feel healthier. I want to feel more energized. I want to look better. All the reasons I stated before. So, yeah, we're reconnecting with our why, reevaluating if things are still important to us, and tossing it if it's not. So, that's number one, reconnect to your why. Okay. Number two, this one is very important, in my opinion, and that is decluttering. That's decluttering your space and decluttering your mind. I have a home office, and I notice like when it gets real messy, I start working in the dining room of my house. But when I have my office and it's nice and clean, I am able to focus so much on my work stuff and I feel good and I light a candle and it just feels so fresh and stress free. I think sometimes your mind is a reflection of the environment well, I don't think I know that your mind is a reflection of the environment that you're in. That's the people you hang out with, your space. If it's messy, you're going to feel overwhelmed without even realizing that you feel overwhelmed. If your space is clean, your mind becomes clear instantly. So if you are in a messy environment or a cluttered space and you're trying to work and you have a lot of work on your plate, you're going to feel stressed, much more stressed. And that doesn't mean like you have to do a full spring cleaning of your entire home. I mean, make things easy, okay? So whatever is that like if you work from home or you do any of your hobbies or any of your goals, if they're like things that you physically do in a dedicated space, you could declutter just only that dedicated space. Like for me, it's my office. I needed my office in order for me to, one, focus at work because I can't be in the living room working because that's where I hang out and I watch TV. My body automatically knows I want to slouch on the couch and watch TV if I'm hanging out in there. Okay. Like if I stay up, if I literally, if I'm having a lazy day and I feel tempted to have my laptop, like if I want to just wake up on my alarm, come downstairs, get my laptop, come back upstairs, lay in bed and work on my laptop, I'm going to fall asleep because my brain is like, our body's in bed. It's time to shut down. And we don't have to do too much focusing because this is the area where we sleep and relax. Okay, so I had my home office set up so that my body will be programmed to know that this is where I'm going to work. And when that space is decluttered, it's easier for me to work in that environment. I would say just try it. Like even like I said, it doesn't have to be your whole house. It could just be one dedicated space. If you don't have a dedicated like a whole dedicated room, it could just be a dedicated corner in the bedroom. Just make it cute. Clean it, make it cute. Put a little imaginary boundary and say nothing gets in this boundary unless it's conducive to my work environment. Okay? And then also the decluttering is also for decluttering your mind. I would say something that has helped me and has helped many other people are having intentional mornings. I know you've heard this because first of all, if you're listening to this podcast, you're probably already into personal development or empowerment, or you're trying to figure out, how to empower yourself or improve yourself. So you may or may not, most likely you have heard of morning routines or night routines. So when I say declutter your mind, I'm not telling you to have a morning routine and I'm not telling you to have a night routine. I'm telling you if that's possible, that is a good time for you to declutter your mind. If you have an intentional time in the day, it could be an intentional morning, intentional night, or an intentional midday. Just kind of look at the patterns of when you have downtime and take that time to disconnect from the world around you, even if it's just for a few minutes to clear your mind. So, declutter. That's number two. Number three is my favorite because I love goals. The third one is to visit the concept of micro goals, or for some of you to revisit them. So when we set those goals in January, what I like to do personally, and what my book talks about is breaking those goals down into more achievable goals that are smaller, that can be done more consistently, things that can like easily be integrated into your daily life or weekly life. So revisiting micro goals. I read this great book called Atomic Habits, which I highly recommend. It's by James Clear. And in that book, he talks about the concept of being just 1% better every day. And when I started doing that, I could look back and see progress at the end of every single week. And I loved that. I loved it. And being 1% also takes the pressure off of having to have something quick in a hurry. I know usually we set goals and we're like, we want to have this thing done as soon as possible. But sometimes that's not always the best way because it puts unnecessary pressure on ourselves with all the things that we have to balance in life as well, like with our job or our children or just our day to day maintenance, you know? So I love the concept of 1% better every day and having micro goals that could be equal to that 1% of getting better every day because it's super low pressure. Like my book, for example, I had started writing it years ago. And it's just a straightforward guide. It shouldn't have taken me years to write it, but it was just, I need to get it done. I need to get it done. And then something would come up or a period of work, I would get very, very busy. And I would use that as an excuse to not work on the book. And then after I read Atomic Habits, I was finally able to finish my book because I said, I didn't think about the 1% better every day. So what I'm going to do is every single day, I'm just going to write for 20 minutes. I can give 20 minutes a day to writing. So I would literally just write 20 minutes a day. And sometimes I would get a page or two done, or sometimes I would just get half a page done, or sometimes I would just be doing research for 20 minutes. But I just know at the end of the week, I made more progress than I did for months when I was procrastinating or coming up with excuses for why I was being distracted or these things that were more important because 20 minutes is nothing in a day. It's literally nothing. So I love the concept of 1% better every day. And the same with like my workouts and, eating, whatever. I would, even if I did like a 10-minute workout because I was really, really, really tired, that's still consistent because I worked out my certain number of days and I got it done. I didn't I didn't say, oh, I'm so tired, I'm not doing anything. I had only that percentage to give that day, but I held myself accountable to working toward my goal. So yeah, micro goals, tiny things that we can do every single day that get us closer and closer to our goal, that does not overwhelm us, that is realistic, and that can help us. Perfection. The next, actually, I had a note under here, something that I also like to do that helps with the 1% every day. Yeah, I can't believe I forgot to mention this. I love to have like a calendar. I have a calendar in my office hanging on the wall, and I love to treat it as a habit tracker. I know some people love to actually use a habit tracker, and I would use a habit tracker, but my printer broke. I need to get a new one. So I love every single day when I do something small that adds to my goals. I just draw like a little heart in the corner of the day on my calendar. And then at the end of the week, I can see, oh, there's a whole week of hearts. Or like I'll see a bunch of hearts on one week, then I'll see just maybe two or three hearts on the next week. And by the end of the month, and I see all those hearts, that one week where I had a mishap didn't matter because I could see like the whole month view of my progress. It was small steps every single day. And I just put a little sticker or a little heart on my calendar every time that I did it. And that also motivated me to do those 1% things every day because I looked forward to the reward of putting a sticker or a little doodle on my calendar so that I could see how much progress I was making. So, yeah, I encourage you to get some kind of visual indicator for you for that 1% every day. So that way it's low stress. You get a little dopamine hit when you get to reward yourself with a sticker or a markdown or when you're looking at the end of the week review. And so, yeah, micro goals. That I think would be the biggest takeaway from today is the micro goals because that right there is some serious action towards getting things accomplished. Let's see, what's number 4? Any guesses? Number 4, improve your health practices. So this involves your mental health or your sleep, movement, eating more healthy. Just basically, you are able to show up better as your best self when you're doing things that contribute to your health. Because a healthy body or healthy mind, it makes things more clear, and it also allows your body to be able to support you when you need it. So when I was in Jacksonville with my sister, my parents, and everything, we were eating dinner, and my sister brought up something that she saw where some guy was telling a story, and he said one day, I think he was, I don't know the story. I actually need to look it up, but I just loved the story, the concept of it. It was a guy, and he was like making dinner in the kitchen with his kids, and he wrote that down like in a journal because that was a moment that made him happy. And those are the moments that we don't really think about too often. Like those small moments, they seem insignificant to our life plans, right? But we're here and we're living life, and those small moments, they feel really, really good. And sometimes we take a lot of those things for granted. So one day, I guess he was cooking dinner and laughing with his daughter, and he simply wrote it down. And another time, I guess when he was not feeling so great, he opened the journal and he read that, and he felt good again. And I thought that was great for taking care of your mental health. And actually, that's something that I want to start doing because I know, like for me, sometimes I'll be talking like to my son or laughing with my family, and I do like take a moment in that moment, and I'm like, wow, I feel really good. This is really nice. I wish, we had more of these moments, or even if, I have a lot of the moments, like especially with my son because we live together. I still like to take a minute and just be like appreciate that moment, especially if you're having a bad day because yeah, those are the moments to me that really matter. Like having a lot of money is great, but what are you going to do with that a lot of money? You might have a nice house, but what's going to make that house is going to be great for convenience. You might have a spa bathroom or a pool or an indoor pool or a 3-car garage, and now you can afford 3 cars, and the option to choose is nice. But what are the most important things that are going to happen in that big house? It's going to be the people that you're spending time with, your ability to host people in that house. And when you're hosting people in the house, y'all are laughing and y'all are smiling and y'all are connecting. And those are actually the reasons why we get a lot of money to afford these things. At the end of the day, we want to share that with other people. You don't need to have a lot of money to do that. Having a lot of money makes it more accessible, I think, because you can fly people in and get a nice meal and give people a reason to want to come together. But it's really the being together that makes you happy. So we don't need to have a lot of money or riches to start appreciating those moments, even if we have these goals that would allow us to create more of those moments. It's even more important now when you're in a development space of going after your goals to write those things down, because sometimes we put things like that aside in order to achieve our goals. Like I was saying earlier, I didn't necessarily need to go to that party. I hang out with my coworker twice a week, and we have good laughs, and sometimes we all have lunch together, and those moments are the same moments that we had at the party, and I could still hit my goals. But those are the type of things that I would have to write down when I'm putting aside a party to stay on track for my goals. I can look back and say, well, I actually do have these kind of moments with them. It doesn't have to be in an environment that's not going to help my goals. But anyways, all of that was just for mental health, because we were still on number 4, which was improve health practices. The other thing I have under there is sleep, because like me, I cannot operate on a little bit of sleep. I'm not one of those people. I'm not one of those hustle culture people that can like not sleep, get only 2 hours of sleep and they're still on go the next day, because I really believe like the crash and the burn. I don't want to crash and burn. I want to be at a steady, happy pace. Okay. But sleep also, it reduces your brain fog and it makes things more clear. And of course, you can perform better when you are well rested. And then movement. Um, there's something that the creator of the Queen Warrior says. I'm going to have to bring it into a future episode. I don't remember. It's something about movement and how it increases your mood. It's like a catchy little phrase. I will bring that back. I'm going to make a note of that. But movement is very important because I believe it helps combat like depression and anxiety. And I believe, how they have the concept of the runner's high. When you're moving your body, you just feel better. You feel better. I mean, it might be hard. It might be hard while you're moving your body, depending on what you're doing. But afterwards, you feel so good after you do it, and it's really good for your health, your physically and mentally, and it actually helps you sleep better. So, yeah. 4, improve your health practices. That'll help you keep you on track because it'll keep your mind clear and it'll keep your body energized and it'll keep you well rested. And basically, overall, it will help you to feel better on a day to day basis so that you're able to juggle everything that you have to juggle. That's why I think health is very important because for me, if I'm not working out for weeks, because I love to exercise, if I'm not doing that, I start feeling depressive and I feel unmotivated and I don't want to do anything. But when I am moving, like when I did a walk today, I came back and I felt like I wanted to be very, very productive today. So that's my testimony. Amen. All right. And finally, we're at numero cinco, number 5, which is to help reignite your spark. You want to have a support system and you want to be immersed in an environment that is conducive to the goals that you are trying to achieve. For example, what I like to do personally to stay inspired is I like to be in a community of like minded individuals. So I like to look at people that are inspiring to me on Instagram often and that are going through the same or similar things as me. Or um, I like to see people that make progress. It inspires me. It inspires me a lot. So I stalk inspiring people on Instagram and TikTok. Y'all know I told you how I feel about TikTok. I love TikTok. But anyways, yeah, but I also when you're stalking these inspiring people, do it in doses because you don't want to end up comparing yourself. The goal is, in the words of Keisha, get married, which she inspired me to start this podcast. I took her podcasting course. One thing that connected with me a while ago was talking about borrowing belief. And I was like, yes, borrowing belief. Have you ever heard the term, you are who your friends are? That is so true. It's so true. Like, have you ever had a friend where every time you talk to them, everything is negative and nothing is going well in their life? And you almost feel guilty about the things that are going good in your life. And sometimes it kind of holds you back from sharing. And when you do share, sometimes you feel guilty because it feels like you're bragging, but you're not. You're just kind of talking to the wrong crowd. And maybe you might even be tempted to complain about something or find something to complain about because you want to meet them where they are so they feel supported, but it's actually not supportive to you. You are who your friends are. If you're around people that are like minded, that have similar vision to you, or that have already done those things that you're envisioning, you can borrow that belief from them. So when you're having self doubt, they can be the type of people to remind you what's possible, remind you that they have been at where you are at, and show you what's possible. And you have to truly believe that something is possible in order for you to do it, right? You can't, how hard is it to do that if you're around people who don't believe? It's very hard. It's very hard to be in a negative environment and try to be a shining light there. I'm not saying you can't do it. I'm just saying if you can get yourself out of that environment and into an environment where your light is welcomed and encouraged and people are feeding into it to help you, shine even brighter, that's the environment you should be in. And that's going to help keep you on track. So that's why I listen to other podcasts that talk about women empowerment and personal development because that's what I'm doing. I'm developing myself. I care about women empowerment. I care about you, and I care about you feeling empowered. I care about you being an individual. I care about you loving your life, and I care about you having hobbies and knowing yourself and being able to set boundaries and be able to speak up for yourself and advocate for yourself. And I would like to be one of those people that support you in those things. And that's why I'm here, because I want to support you and I believe in you. And I'm working on believing in myself and all the goals that I have. And also, I want to be here to support you and all the goals that you have. And I want us to borrow belief from each other when we are not feeling that. And so that's number 5. So that concludes today's episode. And just give you a quick recap because I know we talked about a lot of things. The 5 ways that we are reigniting our spark, because March has usually slows a lot of us down, and we're getting back on track for the rest of the year because we got shit to do, girl. Ain't no breaks. Well, we can take breaks because mental health, but we ain't taking no long breaks. We ain't taking no sabbaticals. We are reconnecting to our why, decluttering our minds and our spaces, visiting the idea and concepts of micro goals. We're making micro goals and we're going to be 1% better every day. We're going to improve our health practices, even if it's only in one area for now. And we are going to be in communities that support us, and we're going to immerse ourselves in the mindset that we want to have. And that's all for today. I'm so happy to talk to you, and I'll see you next week. Have a great day, Glow Getters. Thank you so much for listening to Glow Getter Guru today and for tuning in. I really appreciate you. Do me a favor. If there was something that you loved about this episode or that you connected with, please let me know. Connect with me on Instagram. I can't wait to hear from you. Talk to you soon. Bye.